This story out of Florida is heartbreaking. This is 16-year-old Ricky Ferguson Jr., a high school sophomore and football player from just north of Fort Lauderdale. Media report he was with friends at a local park at the end of December when tragedy struck. Police responded to gunshots near the park, and when they arrived, they found Ricky had been shot in the head. Ricky was rushed to the hospital, and a week later, his mom wrote on Facebook that he passed away. It's not exactly clear what led to this gun violence, but a few days after it went down, cops identified and arrested the alleged shooter, a 14-year-old boy. In 2020, guns were the leading cause of death for children and teens, overtaking car accidents and cancer. Ricky's high school football coach remembers him as a star athlete who was turning his life around.
He was going to be what we call a Power 5, student athlete. Ricky's whole mindset was like, hey, coach, I want to go to college. Seeing the work that Ricky did to continue to be successful.
The teen suspect in Ricky's death has been charged with attempted second-degree murder, though that charge is expected to be upgraded to murder.
Dang, man, it's sad to hear that this young man lose his life to another situation of gun violence. I don't know why this is just so normal in America, where how many kids might die today? How many kids might die tomorrow? I mean, you never understand why, you see someone like him who's on the team. You got to have good grades to play on a sports team, by the way, but he's on the team doing the right thing. I'm hoping he didn't get mixed in with the wrong people. But unfortunately, he's not here with us to talk about what happened. Every day, man, every day. It'd be nice to hear, oh, this happened. A group of teens then got together. They said stop the violence. They are rooting for to stop the violence. They used to be, da-da-da against each other.
I got a man, his throat's been cut to hell. He said his son's been shot 3 times, is buried in a grave, and he wants to go get him.
Butch was a single father. He owned a used car lot and was doing the best for his son. That evening, as bedtime was, approaching at around 10 p.m., Butch heard a knock on his front door. So when he went over, opened the door, he saw it was the cops. The Rozzers at this time of day, they flashed badges and shoved a warrant in his face, saying he was under arrest for drugs possession. He vigorously denied, but they cuffed him, taking him out of his house to a white Crown Victoria parked outside. Once there, Butch asked what to do about his son who was alone in the house. Then, the 2 cops went back to the house and cuffed the 12-year-old boy and put him in the back of the car beside his old man, and out to where Route 431 was being constructed. They then parked the car, turned around and asked him about a safe they thought he had in his house, containing about 100 grand. So they then drove all the way back to his house. Butch gave them 40 grand he had in cash hidden in his closet, and then again the 4 of them drove back to the construction site. Now this time,
I just said that the police came to the house, cuffed the dad, boom, cuffed the kid. Wait a minute, the police did this?
This time, the 4 of them got out of the car. They walked and saw they had already dug a grave. One of the men then slit Butch's neck wide open, ear to ear. And, after young Brett pled for his father's life, the other man shot Brett 3 times in the head. Brett was then thrown into the grave, Butch's throat cut open again, and he too was tossed in, rolling onto his son's body. And the 2 men started throwing dirt in the hole. Only Butch wasn't dead. He managed, with his throat cut, to dig himself and his son out. Unfortunately, young Brett was already gone. Butch, covered in blood and dirt, holding his throat together with his hands, somehow managed to stumble in the dark through the thorns and bushes to a nearby road, and attempted to flag down a passing motorist. One finally stopped, and 911 were called.
911, what's your emergency? I got a guy standing on the side of the road, and he's bleeding really bad, and they said he's dead, and they said somebody killed his son.
He refused to leave until they found his son.
Sir, you got any idea what your name is? Come here. The ambulance is here, sir. Hold on. Right there.
I was shot 3 times.
Okay, hold on, sir, hold on. Okay, ambulance is here.
I'll get my voice first.
All right. All right, sir, hold on real quick. No shit. I got a man, his throat's been cut to hell. He said his son's been shot 3 times, is buried in a grave down here at Uchi, and he wants to go get him. He was buried and dug himself out.
Butch
Just said, hold on. Dude got his throat slit twice, got buried. Bro, if y'all don't tell me the high power ain't real, y'all cannot tell me high power is not real. How do you get your throat slit twice, get buried, and you climbed out, have these people have flagged somebody down, get 911 on the phone? You know what I'm saying? High power is something amazing. I'm telling y'all, man.
Dug himself out.
Butch was so worked up, his throat was still cut open, that the only way he would let them treat him was when they said to him, listen, if you die, and you will, if you don't let us treat you, then the people who did this will get away. That very night, Butch was able to give the police a description.
Is anybody at your home?
No, they got keys in the house. They're probably about to be in it.
Okay.
Phoenix police were immediately alerted and went straight to the Boyer home. After less than 30 minutes surveilling the home, a white Crown Vic drove past, with a man named Michael Carruth inside. They followed him and he was arrested. And inside the white Crown Vic, they found handcuffs, police uniforms, a shitload of money and blood. 43-year-old Michael Carruth denied having anything to do with, well, anything. He didn't confess, as I said, he denied any involvement. He was just, going for a late night drive. You know yourself, sure.
But you know and I know that I have not harmed anybody. You know that and I know that. I'm not even asking you to agree or disagree. I know in my heart what I did or did not do. Okay. And I can live with myself.
This was because, well, he thought there were no witnesses. He thought Butch was dead, which I think would be a logical assumption. Butch being alive came as a surprise, you might say, to Michael. Butch was also able to tell the authorities that he recognized one of those 2 lads.
Who shot you? Who did this?
My repo man's son.
Sir, who did this?
Jim,
Jim who?
I'll think of him in a minute. Jim Brooks.
Brooks?
It's not Jim. It's not a dad. It's a son.
It was Jimmy Brooks Jr., the son of a repo man Butch employed from time to time at his used car lot. Jimmy Brooks was quickly caught too. Caught while burning the clothing he had worn the night before. He confessed pretty quickly. Jimmy was a small-time criminal, had 6 counts of breaking and entering cars and vehicles. So, Jimmy felt like he owed him for bailing him out, and would help him out, in whatever little scheme he needed to do, He had paid 35 grand, so, hey, he owed him that much at least. Also, though, Michael Carruth kind of told him, you don't really have a choice. You're helping me out. Jimmy wasn't a victim here, though. He wasn't, strong-armed into doing these things. He was more than willing.
So he comes to you, tells you gotta pay him, or he's gonna lock you up.
Right.
And you say, okay, I'm doing the best I can.
Exactly.
And then he says, well, he's gonna think of something for you to make money, and he'll come get you, tell you what it is. If you like it, y'all can do it.
Right.
Okay.
It was Michael Carruth who slit Butch's throat, and Jimmy Brooks who shot Brett. He also told them that himself and Michael were responsible for the Ratliff home invasion. Jimmy Brooks had worked for the Ratliff family's son, and so knew that maybe they might have some money. They were doing these home invasions and kidnapping and whatnot to get enough money to set up a hydroponic marijuana system, an underground one, which would look a little something like this. There was a third man too, 28-year-old James Gary, who was involved in the Ratliff home invasion. Michael Carruth never confessed to anything, pled not guilty. However, Butch's blood was 100% on his clothing. Jimmy fully confessed and told the entire story. And so, Michael Carruth was found guilty of capital murder, attempted murder, kidnapping, and robbery. And that was just for the Boyer case. 4 months later, Jimmy Brooks too was found guilty and sentenced to death. James Gary, for the Ratliff home invasion, was sentenced to life without parole. Jimmy and Michael would have been sentenced for that too, but they already had the death penalty. Michael Carruth and Jimmy Brooks remain on death row. So I will see you, as always, real soon in the next one.
So these guys did this stuff so they can have a hydroponic weed dispensary underground, in the basement, whatever you want to call it. They out here being demonic for some dumb stuff. Like, go get you a job, work hard, or hopefully, a miracle happen. Call it a day. And you ain't even got to worry about doing no demonic, satanic, all that stupid stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, for the simple fact, look at, you done killed a little boy. You done, man, think about how this guy got to wake up every day feeling every day. And, you guys on life and death row, all that stuff. I mean, I don't know what I feel if I was a father and I'm seen and witnessed, that. And he was conscious the whole time, I'm pretty sure, through it all, if he pulled himself out of the dirt. Man, that story was mad crazy. I ain't never heard no stories from this guy right here, from that chapter. I never heard stories from them people. Like, man, I gotta check this guy out. This is a crazy story. I don't know how this gonna work or play out, but we definitely heard a messed up one on this one. And as always, I hope you guys are being safe, having a beautiful, blessed day. If you listen to me, subscribe. You'll be helping me out. Like, comment down below. I appreciate the feedback. Y'all have a good day.